Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Anis. Today, I will be explaining about cosmopolitan communication and cross-cultural misunderstandings. Nowadays, people from different cultural backgrounds interact every day in universities, workplaces, and international organizations. While cultural diversity creates opportunities for learning and collaboration, it can also lead to misunderstandings because people often interpret situations based on their own cultural values and communication styles. This is why cosmopolitan communication is more important. It is the ability to communicate effectively and respectfully with people from different cultures by being open-minded, culturally aware, and empathetic. In this report, we analyze 3 cross-cultural communication scenarios involving German and Indian university students. The scenarios focus on time and punctuality, direct and indirect feedback, and hierarchy and teamwork. This misunderstanding happen because each person views the situation according to their own cultural background. The aim of this report is to identify these cultural differences by explaining how they lead to miscommunication and show how cosmopolitan communication can help us respond with greater respect and cultural sensitivity. In conclusion, intercultural communication is not about changing our own culture. It is about understanding the others by respecting cultural differences and communicating effectively in today's diverse global society. Thank you. Nitya said she will be here at 10 a.m. but it's already 20 minutes late.
We could have started the discussion by now.
Hi, I'm so sorry for being late for your nanny.
We were getting worried. In Germany, arriving on time is very important for us. It shows how we respect for other people's time.
I understand, but in some parts of India, being flexible for informing meetings like this is normal. I'm truly sorry, I didn't know I would upset you guys.
Oh, we thought you weren't taking this project seriously.
No, it's not about like that. I really care about our work, but I didn't know this would be a problem. I'm so sorry.
I guess our culture taught us the different habits.
Yes, we can learn about our cultures more and adapt to it.
Next time, if someone is running late, we can send a message.
I will also try to come earlier after this.
Different cultures have different views about time.
But good communication helps us work together.
I will be explaining scenario 1, which is about cross-cultural communication between Germany and India, focusing on time punctuality. In this scenario, Anis and Fai are German students waiting for our group member Nitya, who is from India. She arrived about 20 minutes late, which caused misunderstanding between us. The main culture difference shown here is how Germany and India view time differently. In German culture, punctuality is taken very seriously. Arriving on time is considered a sign of respect, responsibility, and professionalism. So when Nitya arrived late, Anis and Fai thought she was not taking the project seriously.
In this slide, I will explain how cosmopolitan communication helps and what people can do to avoid confusion in the future. Firstly, cosmopolitan communication encourages people to be open-minded and active listeners. Instead of making negative assumptions, people respect different ideas, opinions, and cultural practices. This helps individuals understand why people from different cultures behave differently. In this case, Nitya and Anis learned to appreciate each other's cultural values, especially regarding punctuality rather than judging one another. As a result, they developed greater mutual understanding and built a stronger relationship. To avoid similar misunderstandings in the future, there are several important steps that they can take. First, they should learn about each other's cultural differences before working together. Second, they should communicate their expectation clearly. such as agreeing on meeting times and responsibilities. Third, if someone is going to be late, they should inform the other person in advance to avoid confusion. Finally, they should avoid making assumptions and always show respect, empathy, and understanding towards one another. In conclusion, cosmopolitan communication promotes open communication, cultural awareness, and mutual respect. By practicing these values, people from different cultures can reduce misunderstandings and build stronger, more successful international relationships. Thank you.
Giovanni, I think your sites have too much information. You should simplify them.
Oh, I spent a lot of time making them. Your design could also be improved. I thought you didn't like my work.
No, that's not what you meant. In Germany, people usually give direct feedback because they want to solve the problem quickly.
I see. Well, in my culture, people often give feedback more gently because they don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Oh, we didn't realize our words sounded harsh. And I shouldn't assume that direct comments are meant to be rude.
Maybe we can give honest feedback in a kinder way.
And I can ask questions instead of feeling offended. Understanding different communication style makes it more easier. Respect and open-mindedness help us avoid misunderstandings.
Next, for scenario 2, we will be explaining cultural differences in communication, specifically direct and indirect communication. In our scenario, Echa and Alia from Germany gave direct feedback about Giovanni's presentation slides. They suggested simplifying the content and improving the design. However, Giovanni felt hurt because she thought they were criticizing her work. This happened because Germany is known for a direct communication style. Germans usually value honesty, clarity, and efficiency when giving feedback. On the other hand, India tends to practice indirect communication. People often give feedback more gently to maintain harmony and avoid hurting someone's feelings. The misunderstandings was resolved when both sides explaining their cultural perspectives. This scenario teaches us that understanding and respecting different communication styles can help prevent conflicts and improve teamwork in multicultural environment.
Now, let's move on to cosmopolitan communication and the strategies to prevent misunderstandings. Cosmopolitan communication refers to the ability to communicate effectively with people from different cultural backgrounds. It encourages us to be open-minded, respect cultural diversity, and appreciate that people may have different values, beliefs, and ways of expressing themselves. Instead of judging these differences, we should see them as opportunities to learn and build stronger relationships. To prevent misunderstandings, there are several important strategies we can apply. First, practice active listening by paying close attention and asking questions when something is unclear. Second, avoid making assumptions or stereotypes because not everyone from the same culture communicates in the same way. Third, use clear and simple language, especially when communicating with people who speak different languages. Next, respect cultural differences and be willing to adapt your communication style when it is necessary. Finally, confirm understanding by summarizing or repeating important information to make sure everyone is on the same page. Lastly, the key takeaway that is effective communication is not just about speaking clearly, but also about respecting diversity, being adaptable, and communicating with empathy. By practicing these strategies, we can reduce misunderstandings and build stronger relationships in multicultural environments. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, now let's hear everyone's idea before we make a decision.
Maybe we should wait for the group leader to speak first.
Why? Everyone should have an equal chance to share their opinion.
In many situations, respecting seniority or leadership is considered polite.
But we thought you didn't want to participate.
No, I was trying to be respectful.
I didn't realize it.
Different cultures have different ways of showing respect.
Well, then maybe the best solution is to respect leadership while also encouraging everyone to contribute.
I like that idea.
So instead of judging each other, we should understand where our behavior comes from.
That's what good intercultural communication is about.
So by respecting our differences,
We can become a stronger team.
Hello everyone, my name is Kashmira Sugamar and my metric number is L23B0187. So I will be explaining scenario 3, which focuses on cultural differences in hierarchy and teamwork between Germany and India. So in this scenario, Adelina and Akila represent German culture, while Kashmira represent Indian culture. The misunderstanding happens during a group discussion when they are deciding how to organize their presentation. In German culture, people value equality, open communication, and teamwork. Everyone is encouraged to share their ideas freely, regardless of their position or status. Speaking up during discussion is seen as a sign of confidence and active participation. On the other hand, Indian culture places greater importance on hierarchy, seniority, and respect for leadership. It is common for team members to wait for the leader or the most senior person to speak first, before sharing their opinion first. Remaining silent is often considered a way of showing respect. Because of these different cultural values, Adelina and Akila assume that Kashmira does not want to participate in the discussion. However, Kashmira explained that she is not being passive. Instead, she is following her cultural norm by showing respect to the group leader. This is where cosmopolitan communication plays an important role. Instead of continuing to judge each other, they listen with an open mind and try to understand the cultural reasons behind each other's behavior. They realize that different cultures have different ways of expressing respect and participation. Thank you.
So have you ever experienced a team project where silence was completely misunderstood? So that is exactly what happened in our scenario between Adelina, Akila and also Kashmira due to a clash of cultural norms regarding hierarchy. So from the German perspective, Adelina and Akila practice a low power distance culture because to them effective teamwork means equal rights and also actively speaking up. Therefore, they misinterpreted Kashmira's silence as a lack of initiative. And on the other hand, looking at the Indian perspective, Kashmira practiced a high power distance culture because for her, waiting for the leader to speak first wasn't an act of laziness because it was a deliberate act of politeness and showing respect to their seniority. So how does we resolve this? So for our first strategy is to ask and clarify assumptions before judging. So instead of assuming that Kashmira was being rude or uncooperative, Adelina and Akila should have simply asked her. When given the space to explain, Kashmira beautifully pointed out that in many situations, respecting seniority is considered polite. So this simple conversation bridges the gap to allow the team to realize that her silence was actually an intentional sign of respect and not a lack of interest. So for our second strategy is to shift our mindset from judgment to cultural curiosity through cosmopolitan communication. So instead of looking through their own cultural lens and assuming that Kashmira didn't want to participate in the discussion, the team should have stopped judging her, where they started wondering why she behaved that way. So as Akila realized, understanding where behaviors come from is crucial. By being open-minded, they transform a potential misunderstanding into real effective teamwork. That's all from me. Thank you.
So to conclude our presentation, what we can see from scene 1, we learned about time. As you can see in the video, Anis and Fai from Germany see being on time as a sign of respect. But for Nitya from India, time can be more flexible. The solution is here to communicate clearly and inform each other if we are late. Next, for scene 2, we saw feedback. In the video, Icha and Alia gave direct feedback because in Germany, it's about solving problems quickly. But Giovanni felt hurt because in India, people give feedback gently to protect feeling. So what can we learn from here is be honest but also be kind. So next, in the scene 3, we discuss about hierarchy. As you can see in the video, Adelina and Akila believe everyone should speak equally, but Kashmira wait for the leader first to show respect. So the best way here is respect leadership while also giving everyone a chance to contribute. So what I can say here, the big lesson from all three scenes in this, the problem was not the people, it was our different culture background. So this is why intercultural communication is so important. It is not about saying one culture is right or another one culture is wrong. It is about understanding, pausing, asking and adapting the different culture. So today, in our global world, we will always work with people from different culture. If we choose to listen first and judge last, we don't just avoid conflict, but we can become a more stronger team. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nola Natasha binti Muhammad SH238601, and today I will be explaining our reflection throughout the whole presentation. Our group really enjoyed doing this project because it gave us a chance to apply what we learned about cosmopolitan communication in a practical way. Instead of only studying different culture in class, we created TikTok videos that showed cultural misunderstanding and taboo behaviors in everyday situation. This helped us understand how culture affects the way people communicate. One of the biggest challenges we faced was finding time where everyone was available to film. We also spent quite a while discussing ideas to make sure our videos were realistic, respectful, educational, and still interesting to watch. During filming, we had some funny moments. We forgot our lines, laughed during serious scenes, and had to record some parts many times. We also had problem with background noise, and we spent extra time editing subtitles, transitions, and sound effects to improve the video. Overall, this project taught us that cosmopolitan communication is not only about speaking different languages, it's also about understanding, respecting, and being sensitive to different cultures. Thank you so much.